This isn't exactly an easy thing for either of us, but orders came down from the boss man. I gotta do it. I mean, I don't really want to do it. This is just as hard for me as it is for you, but in this economy, I can't really afford to lose my job, so gotta do what's gotta be done. I'm sorry. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Tech House, where today we are doing something a little bit different than usual. Usually we have a piece of retro tech on the desk here, but today I figured it's that time of year again where we're gearing up for the new Apple releases of macOS 27, iOS 27, all of that. And spoiler alert, the only one I'm going to be using is macOS 27. That's fine, don't worry about it. But I figured, I haven't done this in a long time. I used to beta test all of the new iOS releases back, starting with iOS 10. I got the public beta. Then I did it for 11, and I think I might have done it for 12 and 13. I may or may not have done 13, and after 13 was about the time that I switched from iOS to Android. And I never really beta tested anything on my Mac. I kind of got sick of it at that point, but I figured, you know, new year, new me, even though it's July already, and I figured maybe I can go ahead and do an installation sensation of the new beta on my 2024 M4 MacBook Pro that has served me well since I bought it. And I'm kind of excited to try OS 27 because a lot of people don't like OS 26, you know, especially stuff like this island here, but I hear they're supposed to be making a lot of improvements. Now, I've been using OS 26 since the final release came out, and I haven't had a lot of the issues that other people have had, but we're gonna see today how improved OS 27 is. And I kind of want to do this quickly because I want to get on top of this topic. Usually I'm pretty late to the party with these kind of things, and I just say, fuck it, and not do it, but I have never booted. That's weird. I have never dual booted an M series machine, so we're gonna learn to do that today, and then I'm gonna install the public beta onto a separate partition on my SSD, and we'll try out some of the new features. But first, I need to clear my screen. How did that get there? Anyway, so I suppose the first thing I should do is probably download this beta. So if I go into the software update assistant here and move my camera up like a fucking dumbass, I can't focus on it because I don't have like an anti-glare screen or anything. You're just gonna have to bear with the camera quality here. So I don't have it set up to download any betas yet. However, if I do this, go to beta updates, we're gonna do the OS 27 Golden Gate public beta and click done. It's going to check again, and it's going to find the public beta because I know that's out now. Also, once again, you're lucky that I'm using the external mouse and keyboard. My mouse and keyboard of choice today are a 2000 Apple Pro keyboard and 2009-ish, I think, HP wired USB mouse. Very special peripherals, I'm sure. There we go. All right, so how is this going to work? There's two ways I can think of doing this, because I don't want to install it to my main SSD. I want to make a separate partition, and maybe this will help me here. macOS 27 beta. Try it. Oh, you can't see that. Now you can. Try out the macOS beta. Get an early preview of upcoming apps, features, and technologies in the macOS beta. Okay, yeah, that's great. Does it download an installer? Because I do not want to upgrade this system. I want a separate sandbox. Okay. If I click upgrade now, I click agree here, and I type in my lovely password, we'll see how long this takes to download. It seems to be making progress so far. But I think this might be an online installer, and doing an online installer makes it take. I think it takes longer overall, but the actual file size of the installer application should be a lot smaller, which means it's easier to download and get the process started. So if this just gives me an install application, I'll be a happy camper. If not, I may have to somehow figure out how. Okay, there we go. There's a progress indicator of, oh boy, a 25 gigabyte download. Actually, not ridiculous time, because I remember. I'm getting off topic here. I'll get back to that in just a moment. But yeah, if this just gives me an installer, I'll be a happy camper. If not, I'm gonna have to somehow find a way to roll this back. I want to keep the beta installed on my Mac for the time that it's available before the final release comes out. Probably sometime right after I get back from VCF Midwest. That's how it worked last year. Like, it came out the day after VCF Midwest ended. But anyways, as I was discussing before, I still see a 25 gigabyte download, and I'm thinking, oh my god, this is gonna take like half the day to download. Because for most of my life, my internet connection hasn't been the best in the world. If you go back and watch like super old episodes of Superstar 64 live streams, you'll see what I mean when like the internet would just crap out on me midstream, and I wouldn't be able to do anything for a solid like 2 minutes, and then miraculously it'd come back.
All right, we're gonna go with new players. So we're gonna be playing Fibage Enough About You next. Assuming we don't have network issues again. Which we probably are having network issues. Right, well, it looks like we're gonna have to go back to technical difficulties, so, yeah.
But then there's also the fact that a big download like this would take hours to do, even on a good day. So it may be because maybe my internet plan has gotten better. Maybe using better routers, because I'm using an Eero mesh network in my house now. I didn't do a video about that or anything. It was pretty easy to set up, but when I installed that, and I think that does have better speeds than my previous router had, especially over Wi-Fi. And because this is the newest computer I have, this is the newest thing I own. Like this computer is newer than my phone. I'm still using a Google Pixel 7 from 2023. So this computer is like the newest thing I have, and the Wi-Fi is the Wi-Fi on this laptop is basically the speed I get out of the Ethernet jack on my PC, which is running right now. I have an Apple support article open on here in case I do need help. I think there's something weird about dual booting on the. We'll see. We'll see how weird it is. We're not doing any kind of external drive though, because that would be slow as balls. I don't think you want to watch this thing download for the next 15 minutes though, so I'm just gonna skip ahead to after it's finished downloading. We'll be right back after these messages.
Intermission time.
What are we doing right now?
We're
Why? Hello?
I'd like to give a special shout out to the geniuses at Apple who decided that when I click the upgrade to the beta option, to not install an installer anymore, but to instead just fucking upgrade the computer on my main drive. And there's no option to cancel this, and you might just be next, buddy. I'm just saying, you might be next. Well, for what good that did, I am still on macOS Tahoe. I didn't revert or anything, it just never installed the new OS, which is fine by me, but I still need a second partition. So I've downloaded the macOS Tahoe installer by myself, but I still need to make the partition. So we'll scroll down to utilities. I would love to use the Launchpad if it still existed. Be nice if they brought that back. Please and thank you. Oh boy. Boy, this APFS shit really fucking blows my mind. Yeah, I cannot make another partition. So it says this container has 1.79 terabytes used space. Its maximum size is 2 terabytes. Or no, its minimum size is 2 terabytes. So it's below the minimum size. Snapshot fucking... Keep in mind, I have not touched the partition map of my SSD ever. I have not messed with the operating. I've never had to reinstall the OS on here. It came with macOS Sequoia. I ran the system update to install Tahoe on here. And this is the first time I have ever attempted to partition this disk. And it says this container can't be split because the resulting containers would be too small. How? I had like 400 gigabytes free. Yeah, I do. I still have 400 gigabytes free. So I don't fucking know what the hell's going on here, or why I'm down to, I mean, this is a 20 gigabyte file. That's not, so if I go to Macintosh HD and I press the space bar, 538.26 gigabytes, 330. What the fuck? I'm gonna wait for this little utility here to finish loading, and then I'll try to purge it, I guess. Okay, I'm apparently looking at this wrong. That's not helping at all. Okay, I'm gonna close out of that. Yeah, quit. Fuck off. And I am just going to simply perform a restart. That was not a restart. I want an actual restart. I don't understand why it never gets the first character I type in. Software up. Okay. So I guess before I totally somehow manage to brick this entire computer, I am taking a time machine backup of everything I have on here. At least everything that's changed since I did the last time machine backup, which was, I don't even remember when. I need to do these more often. But, better late than never. I only really... Do as I say, not as I do. Back up your computer before you start doing this, not after. I usually don't care much for the Apple support forums, but I guess I could give this a try, you know. It's always a good idea to just randomly chuck terminal commands that you've never tried before. I mean, it's worked for me in the past, so why not now? Supposedly, this should have created a file in my home directory known as test, which it did. And as you can see, it is currently 39 gigabytes in size. I'll refresh this. Okay, F5. Does not refresh it at all. If I get info on that. Yeah, it's not growing like it's supposed to. Okay, so it just didn't grow as fast as I was kind of expecting it to based on the description, but it is growing. It went from, 39 gigabytes to 200 something gigabytes. And from what I'm reading, what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to chew up all of the space that it can until your drive is full, and then you can delete it, and then you get all that space back. Essentially, you won't have purgeable space anymore, which is great because restarting does fucking nothing. Yep, there we go. We're clearly getting close. Yeah, that's more than the free space it said I had. I should have like 500 some gigabytes after all this is said and done. And we'll keep an eye on the notifications up here. I probably should have mentioned that my backup was complete, by the way. Yeah, it's the sucky part about running terminal commands. There's not a whole lot of visual feedback, and since you're watching an audio-visual production, it doesn't really give you a whole lot to look at, and it gives me a lot of shit that I have to cut out later, so that's fun. I have to stop looking at it for it to keep growing. Well, we're at 1.95 terabytes out of 2 terabytes used right now. 1.96. We might be getting there. And of course I unplugged the laptop, so I should probably plug that back in. Terminal did something. Default interactive shell. What the fuck? What is that supposed to mean? Oh. Well, the test says no space is left on the device. So 1.98 terabytes used. And yeah. And then it also, after that was done, it finally figured out how much system data there is. Thank you. Anyways, as this thing is crying and screaming for help, I'm surprised. I thought it would give me something up here saying, oh, you don't have any more space on your computer. Apparently, the notifications just don't care. So, go back into my home folder, rm-rf. I know this one, the test file, and poof, it's gone. How much space did that open up? Wait a minute, hold on. It's still going. It's still doing something. Okay, it's done now. The graphic here has not updated. Let me push that along. Storage. Oh, no. All right, you know what? Restart. Reopen system settings. Go to storage. There you go. Oh. Okay, then. Disk utility knows what's up. All right, so, this shit just don't make no sense. In fact, what I'm gonna do, restart the computer again, and then we'll try partitioning it, which works differently than I was trying to do. I didn't remember that. In fact, I've never had to partition an APFS drive before. I'm used to doing it the old school macOS external, macOS journaled way of doing it, macOS extended, HFS plus, whatever flavor of the week you'd like to use there. Anyways, so thanks Proton VPN. Anyway, fucking bullshit. Disk utility. Bingo. All right, so I think I am supposed to go here, add an APFS volume. We'll call it bridge. Size options. I mean, if I just add one, it'd be called bridge. It'd also be 2 terabytes, I guess. I guess we're just gonna roll with that. Now if I go into the Tahoe installer, which is loading significantly faster than it was the first time. Agree, show all disks. Bridge is available to me. So this is weird. This isn't how I'm used to doing it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, do it, install. We'll see. The problem is it's probably gonna look fucking identical. I shouldn't have done that. Well, it's gonna take about an hour to install Tahoe on the other partition. It's actually installing pretty quick here. So I guess I'll just get back to you when that is done. Okay, so we'll see if that we'll see if that set my startup disk to the new bridge volume that I just created. It's actually been a hot minute since I've run one of these macOS install. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've run them a lot on older machines, but doing like a brand new Tahoe installation, I've like never done this before. I've never messed with the OS on this computer. It's never been an issue for me. It came with Sonoma out of the box. I transferred all my files over, and then did I say Sonoma? I meant Sequoia. Fuck. Transferred all my files over, and then last year I updated the OS like you would expect me to Tahoe. So this is really the first time I've actually like messed with this computer. Hopefully I don't brick it, because if I do that, then I'm gonna have to borrow somebody else's machine to restore it. But so far it seems that we're good. I don't know. See how long this takes, because I don't know. I don't know how long it's gonna take. Welcome to macOS Tahoe. Okay, my mouse is here. Alright, so we're setting this up like it's a new one. So I'm going to set this up as new because I already have my data on here. I don't need accessibility. I'll punch in my Wi-Fi real quick. If it would let me. I said if it would let me. Please just work already. Okay, I'm just going to continue with that. No, you fucking... Please, just fingers crossed. Please just work. You know, I wonder if it's going to be... Hold on. Yeah. For either, you'll need to enter the password of the previous user to continue. So what if I'm going to create a new one on this volume just because I want to do testing on here. Create Mac account. All right. I need a clever testing name. Well, I guess since we had that kit joke from earlier, how about I think I typed that in right. Yeah, that's gonna be my test account. Oh, you fucker, no. I capitalize that. We were talking about that on CCL. Not in the setup, but I think you can do it after the fact. Password's gonna be the same. I won't put a hint on there. Fuck that. And I just realized that's gonna be the picture, and I didn't even think about that, but I didn't really want that to be the picture, but that's just what we're gonna go with. It's been a minute since I've had to set up a Mac with modern OS. So can I just say no? Sign in later. Yeah, I'll skip that for now. Hopefully I can avoid signing in on this test system. Of course I'm a fucking adult. You should know this by now. I was an adult when I bought you. Anyways, no location services. Oh wait, I probably have to turn on... Okay, fine, fuck it, turn on location services. And it's gonna say the closest city is New York, even though I'm sure there's a closer one. In the options there, set up later. Apple Intelligence. Skip that. I don't use AI, but I'll keep Siri on because there are Siri options in the new OS. We'll see if I can do anything about that. Okay, so if I just say Siri, it's not going to activate because I haven't finished setting up my computer yet. Siri, how's the weather? Okay, all right. It's gonna listen to... No, don't do that. I don't need you sharing my audio recordings, even though I'm doing this on video and I'm going to be transmitting this over the information superhighway. I am not turning that shit on. Fuck that. Set that up later because this is a test system. I want dark mode. I always want dark mode. Yeah. Welcome. Okay. So, we have essentially a brand new Mac. And I guess I'm just going to confirm real quick that before we get too far, unlock, and I'm going to restart. This time, it should just reboot back into my standard system. We're this far into the video, and we're still using Tahoe. Okay, so my system is still here. I didn't destroy everything, but now if I go back in here and then I go to startup disk and then I go to bridge and then I touch ID that, we're gonna restart and we're gonna be in the other install of macOS 26, but not for long because it's time to install beta software on this thing right after these messages from Apple Computer Incorporated. That's not actually their name anymore. It's just Apple Incorporated. They took the computer out of it, but they're still a tech company. They really should have kept the computer in there. Your password is required to log in. Thanks, fucking genius. By the way, if you're new to the channel and you're not used to hearing people swear in YouTube videos anymore, I don't blame you, and I apologize if that's an issue, but that's just how we roll around here. And it's occurred to me that I'm actually going to have to sign in if I want to get beta updates. So, okay, so I'm signed into my Apple account now, and if I go to beta updates, that should actually be available. Click there. Apparently I am, I guess I am I am somehow a registered developer with Apple, so I can get the developer betas. I could have done this before the public beta came out, but I decided not to, and that's fine by me. Done. Now it's time to actually install Golden Gate on this thing, after, you know, all the minor hiccups. And I also changed the profile picture to a robot to fit in with the user account name. If I stick with the Game-Overse theme for future test things like this, that apparently it's 79 in New York. Anyway, if I stick with that theme, I guess Glitch is gonna have to introduce some more characters to the show because there's not a whole lot of characters. I mean, there are some. There's quite a few, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll put some more thought into future user accounts for test systems like this. Yeah, since usually I just go with, oh, Superstar 64, woohoo, but... Alright, well, we've seen this before. I guess we'll get back to this when it's done. So the beta is actually finished installing now, which is nice. I could tell because the background has become the Golden Gate Bridge. I haven't done like any setup yet. I just got to this point. Wait for my mouse and keyboard to be recognized. There we go. Hey, it's good to know that the Pro mouse and Pro keyboard and HP mouse are still recognized by OS 27. So I heard they were supposed to be changing this mouse cursor back. Okay, so there's no setup. That's great. Ooh, feedback assistant. Welcome to the feedback assistant. We hope you enjoy using this macOS beta. If you encounter any issues, please report them using this application. Thank you for helping make macOS even better. Yeah, that's great to hear. I am not signing in right now. I'll do that later, I suppose. Alright, I can already see where some of the changes have been made. So yeah, this isn't like an island anymore. It's actually the way it was before, where it's like, you know, part of the window, as it's meant to be. That I like quite a bit. And yes, just to confirm, macOS Golden Gate, and it's the dark version of the... What if I change my appearance to light mode? Does that change the logo? It in fact does. And that's the one I'm gonna go for with the thumbnail. Yeah. So I don't remember if this was a thing before, but we have just like an actual liquid glass slider. So it seems that I can just change the intensity of liquid glass, or basically just turn it off completely via this method. I'm just gonna go all the way with it. I am a sucker for Windows Aero Glass, and I guess you can see the feedback a little bit more clear with this notification here. So if I just move my slider, it becomes less transparent. Not on the fly, unfortunately, but like you can see some different intensities here. I like that it's set to the middle by default, so like you can get it, like, by default you get a taste of it, but not quite all the way with it if you're not ready to commit. But then also not trying to bury the liquid glass UI. Yeah, when I was watching the WWDC edition of CCL, they mentioned something about there being, like, they're changing the mouse cursor back to the old one, or something similar to it. That is clearly not the case, at least not in this beta version that I have. I guess I'll probably tweet about it if they do change it in the final release, but we're looking at just the standard mouse cursor that I've been used to with macOS Tahoe, because they changed it in that version. I didn't notice it at first until I looked really closely and realized, oh wait, they changed the mouse cursor, which up to that point had been the same since really the original Macintosh days. But I guess for all intents and purposes we can just rewind the timeline only back to when OS 10 launched, because next step and all that fun jazz. Yeah! And here's where I sort of prove where I'm probably unqualified to be reviewing this OS. So I wanted to complain about when I click edit widgets here, because I'm trying to organize this little panel here for the like the control center. I'm trying to organize it in a way that I would like, and I really wish that I could move this window. But then I can't remember if it was like this in Tahoe, because I never look at this. So it's very odd, because like if this is a bug, I want to report it in the feedback assistant, but the only way I can cross-reference that is by restarting my computer back in the Tahoe, which is very inconvenient. And not to mention, I have a lot of custom settings on my install of macOS. I have it set up to the way I like it, and the way I like it is very old school and very much not default. So it's tough to do the comparison there when I have so many things disabled and so many other things enabled that I like, versus what is basically a stock install of macOS Golden Gate here. Well, here's something I thought maybe I could test. Hey Siri, is Siri AI available in this preview of macOS? To get answers about photos and documents, you need to enable ChatGPT. Okay. Hey Siri, can you stop listening, please?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I can't do that.
Why? Why? Oh, I think she did stop listening to me, actually. That's what I get for talking to computers. Is this the AI version, though? It seems like it might be. Okay, yeah, so this is what I want to do. I wanted to try the new one. So I apparently have to join a waitlist to try the digital preview of a new feature. And quite frankly, I'm sure some other tech analyst will probably have their fun with this feature. I don't use the robotic assistant whose name is spelled S-I-R-I. Notice how she didn't respond this time. Anyways, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I guess you won't be able to try any of the AI features. That's fine. I don't need any more of that in our life. Yeah, it gets very, very annoying if it responds every single time I say Siri. And because I turned that off, now it's not going to do it anymore, which is fine by me. Okay, this doesn't have anything to do with the OS itself, but why, because I'm not signed in, this is a fresh install of an OS, why is when I go into YouTube and type in The Amazing Digital, and then the first result is episode 9, the second result is what I'm actually looking for, the third result is The Amazing Digital Footprint. Why is that the third top result? Okay, so I joined the new Siri waitlist, looked away from the computer to do something else, looked over again, and it said Siri is ready. Well, I'm desperately trying to find features to talk about in this OS, which, to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot of them, which I guess is fair. They said this is meant to be more of a snow leopard type release, and I'm cool with that. It just makes for less interesting content, I suppose. That's alright. We had a hell of a time trying to install this shit. But, I guess we could try the new Siri. So, if I... Did they... Okay, so we've seen in real time now that if I have access to the new Siri, I can, it changes the icon in the system settings with the new app and whatnot. Expressive Voices preview. That seems kind of cool. Okay, I have Expressive Voices preview turned on. And the app is, what? No, that's not what I... Why did this change? I'm clicking on the apps here, and it's not giving me a list of apps, but it's instead basically giving me a, like, search box. Continue. Give me, okay, this is actually kind of interesting. And this must be a thing, this must be a part of the new Siri, but I didn't actually want to open Apple Music. I'll be honest with you, my jukebox is a 2009 iMac. So I was gonna try it. I wanted to compare the old and new Siri, but first off, where's the Siri app in my list here? Doesn't seem to be there. But also, there's no way now, it seems, to disable the new Siri. This is just what I have now. So I guess the way I'm gonna compare the two is to just say something here, say something in OS 26, and see what the difference is. Hey Siri, what is the Amazing Digital Circus?
The Amazing Digital Circus is an independent adult animated web series about a group of humans trapped in a circus-themed virtual reality simulation.
It even gives you the source of the information. I mean, I'm not surprised by that at all. In fact, that's actually a pretty accurate description of what that show is. So I'm gonna give that a thumbs up. Tina, the feedback assistant, is here. Hooray! I've submitted my first feedback. This may be the first ever time I've used Siri on this Mac. Where's my mouse cursor? I lost my mouse cursor somehow. Anyways, what is the Amazing Digital Circus? It's silent, but it just loaded up the Wikipedia article. Well, there's your comparison. Anyways, thank you all for watching and have a great night. This is incredibly annoying that Caboodle on my OS 27 partition has changed my profile picture on my OS 26 partition and my Apple account. I only wanted it to change on OS 27. not across the fucking board. Well, I suppose if one thing has changed, obviously they're gonna have some new wallpapers and probably screensavers in here, so let's take a look at those right now. If I can remember where they're at. I've never liked the system settings app. I've always so much preferred the old school system preferences since the beginning of OS 10. It just worked so much better. So we have the new Golden Gate dynamic wallpaper, which is, I guess it's downloading? I don't know. Oh no, my display's gonna go to sleep before my screensaver starts. Woo. Okay, there we go. There's your standard Golden Gate wallpaper, other than the Golden Gate Sunset, which I think is supposed to be a dynamic wallpaper. And we'll go with the night version, I suppose, too, whenever that finishes loading. Yeah, now that I think about it, I think that's all we really have to look at in terms of wallpapers and screensavers. They didn't add a whole lot this time around, unless I'm missing a bunch, which I probably am, but they have so many options now. Hey, look, there's your night version. That actually looks really nice. Yeah, they might have added like a million more wallpapers, but they're mixed in with all of the old ones. And it makes it very tough to, determine which ones are new and which ones are old unless I compile a whole list of them. And I'll do that for Marble Blast levels, but I won't do that for macOS wallpapers. Besides, they've removed so many over the years. I'm just gonna go with the the actual Golden Gate one. Probably dark. This almost reminds me of the same color scheme that you got with Mojave Desert when macOS Mojave was out, and that I'm actually kind of a fan of. Well, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video. Final thoughts for the first impressions of macOS 27. It's good. I like it. It's in many ways it's definitely better than Tahoe, but there's not a whole lot to talk about here, and I don't know if it makes for the best content, but I'm also not exactly a tech analyst. I just screw around with stuff and hope it works. But regardless, I will continue test driving this system. As you can see, I've installed some more applications to maybe help me feel a little bit more at home here on my test variant. And when macOS 28 comes around, hopefully I'll have a slightly easier time installing that, because I've never dual booted a M-Series Mac before. But until next time, thank you all so much for watching this edition of Life in the Tech House, and I will see you in the night sky.